Thank you for listening to The Luminous Mind. Remember to subscribe to our free podcast so you won't miss any of our inspiring content. Here is episode 125.
Everything we do will either improve our health or decrease our health.
Benjamin Franklin once said, "Do not curse the darkness, rather light a candle instead." If you're ready to set your mind on fire, then prepare yourself for the Luminous Mind with your host, Rebecca Bowman.
Today's fire starter is Leanna Christensen. Leanna is the mother of 4. She's a certified zone balance practitioner of 8 years and a foodie. Leanna has helped many people over the years understand how natural healing and nutrition can benefit and empower the individual and families. You will be touched by Leanna's passion for helping you learn to create the balanced life you deserve. She knows by doing this, you will dramatically improve your quality of life. It will make it all worth it. Thank you, Leanna, for joining us.
You're welcome. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to be on here and to share my message. This is awesome.
Well, a lot of my listeners know I call myself a foodie too. It probably is a second love that I have. So I'm really excited to hear more about your life and your mission. Why don't you go ahead and briefly tell us about yourself?
So I, like you said, introduced, I'm a mother of 4, and my kids right now, their ranges from 8 to 14. But when I had my 3rd child, I had my kids really close together, and when I had my 3rd child, he turned, well, it was after actually when he turned 1, when my 3rd child turned 1, he became really sick, and I didn't know what to do. So we took him to the doctor several times. He ended up having allergies and hydrocephalus. But the doctor's office, when we took him there, is actually primaries that we took him to because he was having these fainting smell cells. He wasn't sleeping. He was having diarrhea. He wasn't eating anything, throwing up all the time. And as a mom, being tired anyways with the rest of my kids and being up all night with a 1-year-old, I needed to find answers for my family. So I took him to the hospital 3 times in 1 month, and trying to figure out what was wrong with him. And that is where we found the hydrocephalus through a CAT scan. But all the other stuff, the throwing up and the diarrhea and the not sleeping, we couldn't figure out what that was going on for, what that was. And I had a friend tell me to go to a foot zonologist. So after a year of telling me about this foot zonologist, I was desperate enough to finally actually go to the foot zoner, and she worked on his feet, and she told me exactly where to go to get diagnosed for the rest of his problems, which ended up being allergies to all dairy and all pork. And then also he was fainting, so he was holding his breath. And I don't know if you've ever experienced that, but that's really scary.
Yeah.
His eyes would roll back in his head, and he would just fall over, and he'd be out for maybe like 20 seconds. But that wasn't as big a deal as the allergies and the hydrocephalus, which is water on the brain. So trying to figure this all out and being stressed out about the doctors and not having the answers from them, I decided to continue with the foot zoning because that is where a lot of my answers came from that made the biggest difference. So as soon as we found out what the allergies were, we stopped giving him the food. We took the dairy and the pork out of his diet, and we were feeding him the things that would actually maybe get through to his system. He had so much mucus in his system that he was literally starving to death because of the allergies. And all of that mucus built up in his intestine. So this literally saved his life, knowing what his allergies were and being able to clean his system out through changing his diet. So that was a huge, huge stress on me. And as a mom, I'm sure you can relate. We do everything we can when we know our kids are sick. We do everything we can for them, and we kind of forget about ourselves. This is what I did. I kind of forgot about myself and poured myself into my children, and I became super sick from all the stress that I had trying to take care of my 2 older kids and trying to adjust our diet and trying to also take care of the rest of the needs of my sick child and fill the needs of my husband.
Yeah.
So as being a mom, you kind of do the whole round, right?
Yeah.
So I forgot about myself, and I got super sick. I had a sore throat, had a chronic cough. I was always tired. I never felt very good. It's like having strep throat. Everyone thought I had strep throat. I walked around for 6 months going doctor to doctor to doctor. I'd go into a doctor's office. They'd look at my throat, swab me for strep throat, and it always came out negative, that I had every symptom. So this was another round of doctors trying to figure out what's going on with me. I didn't think to go to the foot zoologist at the time. I don't know why, but I wanted to find answers. And finally, after 6 months, I went to a doctor who diagnosed me with acid reflux. Acid reflux was something that they automatically wanted me to take a pill for. And I looked at that bottle, and I looked at the list of side effects. It was almost as long as the bottle. Then I looked at the very bottom, and it says, do not take longer than 2 months. I looked at that, and I'm like, I don't think that's going to solve my problem. And so I called around, and I talked to my uncle and asked him, who takes the same medication, does this fix your problem? Are you better after taking this? He said to me, Leanna, you just take the pill, and then you eat whatever you want. And so I thought, oh, my goodness, this is not going to solve my problem. I have to find another way. So I did. I read books. I got out the pH Miracle. I found that through looking through the library and reading several books. And in there it talks about balancing pH. So I started reading that book and understanding how my body functions and how the balancing of your pH of your body really dramatically impacts your health. And so in the process of taking care of my son with his allergy and changing his diet from dairy-free and pork, which basically we kind of took out all meat, most meat, a mostly meatless, dairy-free diet. And now I'm adding in this diet where I'm trying to balance the pH. Through this process of learning all this stuff, it took probably about a year to really figure out how to adjust our eating habits. We had to do a 180. And when I realized this, I was just kind of beside myself, like, what in the world am I getting myself into? How do I do this? I grew up on dairy, and I grew up on all the things that the standard diet has. And so I had to learn and create a new habit, a new pattern, a new way of living and thinking outside of the box of the American Standard Diet to create health in a more of a preventative way. And I've learned that the body can heal no matter what if we give it the things that it needs. And so this is kind of my story, how I've come to learn and love what I do is I've learned through my family experiences and through my own experiences of how to heal my body with food.
That's great. So tell us more about kind of your journey in that and how you became, we talked about you being a balanced practitioner, also, with the food and stuff like that. What kind of educational journey that looked like for you?
Yeah, so it's kind of cool because the foot zoning, I wasn't really open to it at first, but once I saw the results that my son was having, and also, with the hydrocephalus, which is water on the brain, they usually go in and they put a shunt in between the brain to drain the spinal fluid, because hydrocephalus is either caused from your own body producing too much spinal fluid, or it's caused from it not draining properly. So they go in and they put the shunt in and help it drain into a different cavity of the body. But I was not about to have surgery. I did not want to put my son through that surgery. My oldest child has been through about 4 surgeries, and my youngest child has been through 1, and I just did not want to put this other child through another surgery. So the foot zoning was actually helping with that hydrocephalus. It was actually moving that fluid out of the body or out of the brain. And I was having such good results with that, plus with his allergies. It was clearing the allergies out of the system. It was cleaning his body out. It was just amazing, the results I was finding. But I was having to take him every 4 days. So I decided that since I was putting all this money into this other person to work on my son, but maybe I could put that money into my schooling and go and certify and actually be able to do that and help my entire family, not just my son.
Yeah.
So I did that. I went through school, and in the process of doing that, I was learning about the diet and all of these other things about herbs and oils and food, and realized that the pH, balancing the pH diet, how I was healing my cell self through the acid reflux, was also the same concepts I was learning through foot zoning. So it was really amazing. I just love the foot zoning, and I learned a ton through there. I have been able to study the entire body. I'm not a doctor, so I haven't studied it as intensely as a doctor, but I understand the basic functions of the body and how to help give it what it needs to heal.
Yeah.
So it's been a huge benefit to my family, because I've been able to not just heal myself from acid reflux and heal my son, but whenever my son would have an allergy, he'd go to school and he'd have something that he couldn't have. He could come home and I could work on his feet, and it would just push that right through his body. He wouldn't have any symptoms from that allergy or from that food that he wasn't supposed to eat. I've seen it actually balance the emotions. So, like, if my son was out of control or my kids were fighting or, had anxiety or something about school or a friend that they got in a fight with, I could work on their feet, and it actually would balance their mind so that they could think straight.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's so cool. Then I've also taken classes on kinesiology. I spent about 2 years studying from Kurt Duncan and learning about body language. Done a lot of things on my own that I've kind of learned from. I love learning about herbs. That's one of my favorite things. I would love to someday go. I have this crazy dream to go live on a land where there's no stores and just live off of the plants. I think that would be so cool.
A lot of people are moving that way now with, the urban farming and stuff like that. So that's awesome. Well, and an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure is what we hear. And so I love how you, like said, we're trying to prevent stuff, not just take a pill and think that that's going to change everything. So tell me how you think that your paradigm has changed over time and with this experience. How are you unique in finding, your authentic life's mission?
So, it's kind of fun. I have learned so much. I think I'm authentic in the way that I can work on the foot zoning, but I also have so much background on the food. With our bodies, we need to support our bodies. We can't just be healthy by thinking about it. Everything we do will either improve our health or decrease our health. Yeah. Every choice we make, it's always either improving or not improving, or it's decreasing. So through the foot zoning, it's really awesome because the feet are like the key to the whole body. They're a secret passageway, and you can analyze feet and work on the feet and not only renew the cells, but you can also analyze the body, figure out what it needs. So with the foot zoning and the nutrition together, and also herbs and oils, you can support the body in every way and really figure out what it's doing, and then it empowers you so much. And the thing I love about what I've learned is that I am so empowered. I don't have to rely on a doctor anymore. I mean, it is good to go to the doctor. I'm not saying don't go to the doctor. We do need to go to the doctor. But I'm saying that there's so many times that we go to the doctor that we really don't need to.
Yeah.
That we could probably take care of things ourselves. We're just not confident in that. And if we can just learn a little bit more about nutrition and about our bodies and have awareness in how we're feeling, awareness of what's around us, what chemicals we're consuming, if we can have the awareness and then be empowered to know that we can do something about it. We don't have to rely on anybody else. We don't have to rely on somebody else. So we can, if we have an allergy, we can change that food.
Yeah.
And it's kind of cool because I've also learned that no matter what is our favorite food, we kind of everyone has a food addiction, right?
Yeah.
Mine is chocolate. So,
mine's caramel.
Chocolate and chips.
Yeah.
I learned that whatever you love to eat, that you can always find a substitute, and you can make that same food, but you can make it healthy and something that will actually heal your body instead of tearing it down.
Oh, wow.
So there's always a better way to do stuff, and that's probably the biggest takeaway that I've learned from my journey.
Yeah,
Like I said, a way to help.
Yeah, the prevention makes a big difference, and it's a very empowering feeling. So that's great. Now, you have services that you offer. Tell us a little bit more about that, about what you're offering other people now and how you're helping in the world in that way.
Yeah, so my business is kind of just getting started. I don't have a lot of classes right now, but I do have a few things that I would love to offer you. I have a class called Love Your Body that I do twice a year. And it's a class for people who really want to use their mind, their emotions, their mental body, and their physical body, their spiritual body, just totally connect all of that and use food and emotional and mental releasing tools just to really understand, have awareness and understand what those are and how to change. Love Your Body class is learning how to love yourself with your mind, your spirit, your body, and having all the tools to be able to create that love within yourself and that health.
Well, and when we connect all those, I mean, when we take care of the gamut of everything like that, we are full healthy. We have the entire health taken care of. So that's great. Before we go on, let's listen to this message. This is just a reminder that this month we have our anniversary giveaways going on. Can you believe it's been 1 year since we published our first podcast? We are so grateful to all the contributors, listeners, and supporters that we have received over the last year. So we're doing a month-long celebration. We are doing a weekly drawing for all of our subscribers. To enter the drawing, you can go to YouTube, iTunes, Stitcher, or any mobile podcast subscriber service. Subscribe to the free podcast, leave us a review and or comment on your favorite podcast. Another way that would be awesome if you want to just share our content and then let me know that you shared it and what your testimonial is about it. Then email us a copy of that review at contact@theluminousmind.net. Your name will be entered to win fabulous prizes that past Firestarter contributors have graciously donated to our anniversary. Drawings are going to take place on Saturday and be posted on iTunes, Stitcher, and YouTube, and winners will receive an email after the drawing. So we have some great prizes. Go to theluminousmind.net underneath the subscribe tab. That's a tab of giveaways. It helps you know more about what's going on. You can see the prizes, and then you can also learn how to leave a review, because I know that's difficult. Help us to continue to light minds on fire and change the paradigm of education.
Can you show me? Can you teach me what a woman can be? You possess me and arrest me. Baby, read me my rights. Must be illegal what I'm feeling tonight.
Welcome back to The Luminous Mind with Leanna Christensen. What successes have you seen with that?
It's been really awesome. I've had several clients that have just really come back with a lot of appreciation because they've been able to work past their mental blocks. It's cool because, especially with the food, that's kind of my forte is the food. In this Love Your Body class, I teach you all about how to balance a plate with the food that you love. You don't have to cut out a bunch of stuff. You're just eating what you love, losing weight and balancing and creating that health that you want. And I've had a lot of people really appreciate that. I've had results with better skin. I've had results with being able to get rid of digestive problems. We've had results with being able to really have the energy that you want. So it's kind of cool when you look at mind, body, spirit, and how you just adjust a few things, and it can really make a huge difference within your body.
Wow. Well, and I love that, like you said, you get to eat the foods that you love. I think diet, is a bad word in our society, but really it's just the meal plan, basically, that you are choosing to eat. And you have a meal plan whether you want to acknowledge that or not, right? I mean, you have a
Right.
diet regardless, so that's great. What mentors do you feel like have made a significant difference in your life, or what do you feel like you have learned from mentoring other people as well?
Well, one thing I've learned is that we all need each other. We need each other. everybody has such unique gifts and talents. Everybody is so unique. With every person that I mentor or have been mentored by, I learn. I learn something with everybody. It doesn't matter who you are. If you're my friend, if you're around me, if I'm mentoring you, or if you're mentoring me, I have something to learn from you. And so I love people. I love working with people. I love being able to see progress, and I love being able to see the light in somebody's eyes when finally it clicks in their brain that they can do something different, that they don't have to be in the mainstream of what everyone else is doing and worry about disease and sickness and weight, that they know that they can do something to improve that, and they know how. And that light bulb just goes on, and they just go for it. That's like the best ever.
Well, and I love how you were talking about how we're all unique like that. I think sometimes we try to find people that we're like, you know, that are like us or whatever. But when we really acknowledge the fact that everyone's unique, that everyone has something special, that we can learn from that, it helps us enjoy those relationships more and really look at mentoring, look at being mentored in a different light, that we have that ability to learn from anyone.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of cool because, well, one other thing that I've learned is that everyone is so different that you can't really say that one thing works for everybody. So that's why I love what I do, because I don't just say, okay, this is what you eat and this will fix you, and I don't say that to everyone. I help you find uniquely what is best for your body, what your body wants, because everybody's body is so different that we all need different things. And so by having somebody talk you through things, or somebody who has gone through trials of their own to find out what works for them, and then they can see what will work for you, you know, something that's so beneficial.
Well, and do you feel like that's how the foot zoning helps you to be able to map out a person's uniqueness in a different way than, you know, just going to the doctor and telling them what your symptoms are? You can pinpoint that a little better.
Yes, definitely. I think that's definitely helped me see that, because something like a sore throat for somebody else could be a sickness, whereas for me it was my acid reflux. And that would have never been caught, you know, unless somebody could have said, well, you have digestive problems and that's why you have a sore throat. Everybody's different. And sometimes, you know, it's interesting because some of the clients that I've worked on have had like anxiety. I had a client that had severe anxiety panic attacks. And I don't think everybody could have resolved that the same way that he did. And he had to change his diet plus do emotional work and do certain things for a very specific amount of time before he found results. And that worked for him really, really good. And he is just awesome, doing awesome now and doesn't have panic attacks. But for somebody else that had the same symptoms, I don't think that exact formula would have worked for them. You know what I mean? Maybe it would, maybe it wouldn't. It's nice to be able to have the foot zoning to analyze that and find the uniqueness in the body and where the disturbance is so that we can find out what they need to alter or adjust.
Yeah, instead of like the trial and error, you know, medication type thing. So yeah. So you talked about that book that you read about pH balance. Do you want to give us that title again? And then tell us maybe some other books that you've read that have been really influential in your learning.
So it's The pH Miracle by Dr. Young, and that is a really awesome book because it gives you recipes and explains really well how to balance that pH in the body and the reasons why we could balance pH, why it's so important. There's another book called The Herb Book that's really awesome for remedies. It's by Rodell, kind of an old-fashioned book, and it just has tons of herbs and what they're used for and the medicinal purposes, how to put them together. So that has recipes in it, too. That's a really awesome book. And then also you can find some really good recipes on my website, which is mygsglife.com/full renewal. You can find some really, really good recipes on there. I have the Green Smoothie Girl. She has about 17 cookbooks.
Oh, wow.
And she also has, it's so cool. She has really good recipes. I love them. And they're really yummy, too. They're great solutions So I also have, if you want to email me or Facebook me, I have a little $5 cookbook that I put together myself that I could send to you on a PDF. So there's a way to get recipes there.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, or you could sign up and get on my contact list or my Facebook page, like my Facebook page, Soul Renewal. And you can get on there, and I have events that I do. I have a free event that I do every month. And then any event that I'm also in, you can get on there, and I will post things on there, so it will keep you updated. So like at the 30th of this month, I'm doing a homeschool conference, and there's also right now, if you go on my Facebook page, you will see it. It's called Lifeline. I am doing a expert summit where I have gathered about 14 different experts, and we're all going to be doing a 30 to 40 minute video that is going to be sent out through email. So you can watch it through the comfort of your own home on your own time. And so right now the registration is going on for that. So please, if you want some really yummy information, go to my website and sign up for that, because it's free and it's really awesome. The experts are amazing. So it's going to be really juicy stuff on there.
That's great. Thank you. And we'll be sure to link all that in her show notes so that you can get that information. And what habits do you feel like in your personal life have been the most beneficial?
I think the most beneficial thing in my personal life for habits there's a few different things. As far as food, since we've been talking about that, I think one of the most beneficial things for me with food is to always follow my intuition on what to eat. Asking myself, before I eat something, asking my body, is this good for me? And if I can ask my body if this is good for me and how I'm feeling after, and then eating what I feel like it wants. Another way you could do that is by, if you don't have that awareness or that connection with yourself, you can start that connection through awareness by eating something, and then an hour later, journaling how you feel.
Oh, that's interesting. So if you're having like digestive problems or something, that really help you pinpoint, right? Is that what I'm getting out of that?
Yep, it can totally help you pinpoint like any allergies or anything that is disturbing your body. It can also help you pinpoint what food gives you energy. So journaling is an excellent way, and just being aware of what you're eating and how you're doing that, that's going to make a huge difference in knowing what to eat.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
great.
Yeah, so it's another tip that I would like to share, or thing that's made a big difference in my daily routine, has been getting up early in the morning. When you get up early in the morning, it actually stimulates your pineal gland, and it will start producing hormones to give you more energy during the day. And so it's interesting. I am not a morning person at all, but when I started getting up at 5 in the morning to exercise, in my body I had more energy during the day than if I had slept in.
Yeah, I think that's interesting, right? I mean, that's been my experience too. I mean, days that I sleep in, I feel almost more sluggish. Even when I'm thinking, I needed that extra rest. I'm actually more sluggish than if I would have just woke up at, my earlier time. So that's a great habit.
Yeah. And a lot of people have adrenal exhaustion, so it's hard for them to get up. But what you can do for that is take 2 20-minute naps during the day to help you rejuvenate your body during the day. So it's good to still get up early and then take those naps so that you can rejuvenate all day long and repair your body as you're going throughout the day as well.
That's great.
Those are my tips.
Great. Sounds wonderful. So do you have any long-term goals that you have for yourself or for your business or maybe even your family that you want to share with us?
I would really love to write a cookbook. I think I really just need to write a cookbook, and lately there was a month there where I ate potatoes every day, and so I thought it would be fun to maybe write a book on 30 days of potatoes. And the reason why I say that is because potatoes, root vegetables, are so good for you. They have all the enzymes from the dirt, and they're totally good for your digestive system, and they also are really, really good for your balancing your salt in your body. And so I would love to write a book on not just potatoes too, but a recipe book on food and what it exactly does in your body when you eat it. And so to have that, so somebody could, if they have an element, they could look it up in the book and know exactly what food to eat and how it's going to affect their body, and then they could journal about it. I would love to have that book written. And then I also would love to, my real goal for my business is to really help people be self-reliant and learn how to empower them to be able to take control of their health and take control of their body and not be afraid to change what they're doing or to try something new. Because I think that a lot of the problems nowadays is with our food because it's changing so much and people don't know what to eat. They don't know how to start. They don't know how to change what they're doing. But there always is a way to change. And so
to make more like citizen experts, basically, right? That they're empowered enough to make those healthy habits all on their own, correct?
Yeah, correct. And I think maybe one of these days, we might not even have the resources to be able to go to a doctor, or we might not be able to have the right. I mean, you never know the way the country's going. It seems like you just never know if you're going to be able to always have that doctor there or those resources. And I would love for people to understand what they can do for themselves if they didn't have that.
Yeah, that's the way a lot of medicines, the Indians used to forage them, like that. They knew what roots or herbs or whatever would help with certain things, correct? We just have turned to a group of experts now where we don't even trust that or learn more about that.
Yeah, I think that's why I went without any grocery stores, so I could, I could actually experience that and know I could do it for myself. I think that'd be so cool.
Yeah, it'd be a lot less painful if you could do it a little at a time, though, right? So, awesome.
Right.
All right. If you could leave a legacy, what do you hope that's going to be?
So I think my legacy, especially for my family and my kids, would be just the ability to express who you are and not be afraid to be who you are and learn to take care of yourself, take care of your body, take care of your mind, your connection to God, your spirituality. I would not be where I am today without God in my life. And so my legacy I would love to leave is that there is a greater power out there, greater than ourselves. And if we can tap into that power and really help people and take care of ourselves, and love other people, then we will be able to impact the world and do whatever we want to do. We'll be able to move mountains.
Yeah.
And so that's really what I want to legacy to leave, is that they have the ability to move mountains.
Yeah, there's not a person on the earth that has the knowledge that God has, right? That we can learn anything if we have that understanding that, He's there to help us and to find that mission for ourselves, that we're not meant to have somebody else tell us what we should do, that we're really meant to just follow that internal feeling that we have to really go with that. I'm very inspired by that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So before we say goodbye, do you have any final parting advice for our listeners? And then please give us your contact information of how they can go ahead and get that cookbook that you were talking about and some of those free things that you offered earlier.
Yeah, so my final words would just be to keep moving forward and take those baby steps. When we're changing, when we're trying to do something new, especially this time of year, at the beginning of the year, we have our New Year's resolutions that we're trying to do, and a lot of times halfway through the year, they drop off the face of the planet and we never see them again. And then the new year comes and we start them again. Well, my advice would be to just take baby steps. Pick one thing every day that you can do to improve. One thing. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter what goal you're trying to accomplish. But if you take one thing, whether it's if you have 5 goals, take one thing every day, one thing, and choose to move forward with that and accomplish that one thing.
This will probably air about the time, don't they say that about Valentine's Day, everyone stopped doing their, whatever that resolution is. And so this is a perfect time to recommit to that. Thank you. That's great. And do you have any other things that you want to say?
I just want to thank you for letting me be on the podcast. And I really just enjoyed my time and enjoyed talking to you. And I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful, beautiful day.
Great. Do you want to give us those contact? You have a Facebook page. We mentioned your email, which will be linked up at our show notes, but do you want to give us that and then also your company addresses, web addresses?
So my email is Soul Renewal, SOLERENEWAL .LC@gmail.com. And my Facebook page is Soul Renewal. And then you can see, what else did you need? You need the website is mygsglife.com/Soul Renewal. And there you can find the recipe books, and they also have a detox program that is fabulous, and a 12-step to whole food program that is also really, really fabulous. I have products on there that you can purchase to help you that are whole food, non-GMO, sprouted, just amazing, really, really good products. And then if you want my cookbook that I put together, it's $5. You can just email me, and I will email you that information. And then on my Facebook page, you can go to that and register for my Expert Summit that I put together. It starts January 19th.
Okay.
But I do have my Love Your Body program that starts in March. So if you want to sign up for that, you can email me, message me, and I'll send you a registration link.
Oh, that's great. Well, thank you so much, Leanna. It's been a pleasure talking with you. I appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you. It's been wonderful.
Thank you for listening to The Luminous Mind. To learn more about Leanna Christensen, go to our show notes at theluminousmind.net. Be sure to become a subscriber to our free email list and get our new monthly newsletter. Then check out our services tab to see how we can continue to assist you, our fire starters. Also, to help us continue our production of inspiring content, go to the sponsor tab at theluminousmind.net for easy information on sponsorship and affiliate programs. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, Google+, and now Pinterest. Get our free audio content by subscribing on YouTube, iTunes, and Stitcher. To help us grow, consider these easy ways. Tell your friends about us, leave us a review, share our content, tell us how we can help you so together we can continue to light minds on fire and change the paradigm of education.